Greetings, navigators. We chose that name 8 years ago for our senior adult ministries. Our mission statement is setting the course for a new generation. We are impacting those who follow in our footsteps to worship, serve, and to become disciples of Jesus Christ. Our name, Navigators, in this day has taken on a new perspective. We are setting the course to navigate the storms of life. In Mark 4, we find a first-hand account of that principle. We find Jesus and his disciples in a boat on the Sea of Galilee. A raging storm rocks the boat with crashing waves and water, and the disciples were fearful. Where was Jesus? Asleep on a pillow in the stern of the ship. The frightened disciples went to Jesus and awakened him in something of a panic. "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? Jesus, do you not care that we might die?" You can hear the fear in their voices. You can just imagine Jesus getting up, shaking the sleep away, shaking his head at his disciples, walking over to the boat edge and looking at the sea raging, and simply said, "Peace, be still." Not only did those 3 words, simple words, immediately still the storm, but it amazed the disciples. Peace, be still. Jesus turned to his disciples and somewhat reminded them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Matthew's gospel phrases it this way, "O you of little faith." The implication was the same. After all they had seen Jesus do, after all they had experienced in walking with him, in the midst of the storm, they forgot who Jesus was. The next verse says, they marveled at what had happened and said, "Who then is this, that even the sea and the wind obey him?" Max Lucado says it this way, "But it is in the storms that God does his finest work, for it is in the storms that God has our keenest attention." That seems to be where we are today. In the midst of this storm, we need our focus not on the storm, but on the master of the sea. Their question, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Jesus is referred to as the master of the wind and the master of the sea. The disciples discovered a new perspective on Jesus that day when they awakened him. They were recognizing that Jesus was the one who brought them strength and protection during the storm. What they were not ready for was Jesus to simply say, "Peace, be still," and totally stop the storm. You see, they went to Jesus in the storm, but they failed to understand his power in the storm. In these days, in the midst of this storm, and in the next storm you face, and in the storm after that, our primary focus should not be on the storm itself. That only enlarges fear. Our primary focus should be on Jesus. He enlarges faith. Let's go back to Max Lucado's statement. It is in the storms that God has our keenest attention. So where is your attention today? On CBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, perhaps on Facebook commentary? Where does your conversation go? Hebrews 12:2 says, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. I like that word, pioneer of our faith. Does God have your keenest attention right now? Are you living in faith or in fear? When the storm gets overwhelming, head to the master of the sea and listen to his words. Peace, be still. God bless you. Spend time in his word and trust him. Have a Christ-centered day.